Texans would screw it up anyway because they don't know what they're doing. It's a prime example with the New York Jets, a dysfunctional franchise. And I like Joe Douglas, the new GM, but Robert Saleh is an unproven head coach. So they're going to bail on Sam Darnold. Will the Colts like Sam Darnold? Kyle Shanahan likes Sam Darnold. Smart people in the league like Sam Darnold. And the Colts will probably land him, if not Wentz, or the Niners will. Somebody that's good is going to get Sam Darnold because good people like him. You're reading all the stories. And the Jets are going to bail on him, and they're going to bring in a rookie quarterback from the Mountain West Conference in a division with Bill Belichick, best defensive coach in football history, Sean McDermott, great defensive coach for Buffalo, and Brian Flores, the makings of an amazing defensive coach. Translation, Kyle Wilson's going to go 0-6 in division year 1 and year 2. Or you could get that second pick if you're the Jets, and you could get 3 first-rounders for it, a couple seconds potentially, and you've already got, because of the Jamal Adams trade, multiple firsts. And you could stick with Sam Darnold, who's been in the league, who now understands the National Football League, and support him with 7, 8, 9 first and second round picks the next 2 years. So I look at the Jets and I think they're gonna eventually screw it up because they're the Jets. And they're going to, if you go look at what the Jets are doing, I understand them moving off Sam Darnold. He hasn't won, and GMs and coaches like their own quarterback. So they're going to move off Sam Darnold. But it's going to be a revolving door of losses because they're going to bring in a rookie quarterback, and he's going to get his butt handed to him by Belichick, Brian Flores, and Sean McDermott. Defensive coaches that are elite in this league eat rookies for lunch for 2 years. They eat them for lunch, and Kyle Wilson's going to have to come in and start Zach Wilson. And you don't even know if Robert Saleh can coach. You have no idea. So he's going into now the best coached division in the NFL in terms of defense. McDermott, Flores, and Belichick with a rookie quarterback. Or you can stay with Darnold and get multiple first-rounders, your own from the Jamal Adams trade, and from that, moving your number 2 pick. And just give him an all-star. You could solve every issue by the second round this year. You really could. If you trade that pick and get a first and a second, you'd have 3 firsts, you'd have multiple seconds, you'd have, I think they have 3 thirds. You'd solve all your problems by the 3rd round. You wouldn't even have to hit on all your picks. You could hit on about 4 of them. Get a corner, get a pass rusher, get a wide receiver, and 1 more offensive lineman. 4 of your 6 picks you're solved, and you have cap money, give Sam some players. But, I mean, you give these teams all these picks, and like Houston, you're going to get a boatload of picks. They'll screw it up. So if the Jets move off Darnold and get, you got this quarterback, and you still got to be able to make it work. And the idea that I'm going to have a rookie quarterback in New York in that division against those coaches, Buffalo's a great football team. Belichick somehow last year won 7 games, and Miami's really close to being an excellent team. They're in the rebuilding process. They're 1 draft away. And you're going to bring in a kid from the Mountain West Conference. God, good luck with that. Joy Taylor with the news.
No.
Turn on the news.
This is the Herdline News. Sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
Well, Tom Brady made a huge shift in his career last season, joining a new team in a new city. And his trainer, Alex Guerrero, explained some of the ways that Brady adjusted his workout and health regimen to fit in his new life. He said this was an unprecedented year, not to mention a new city. This year, we included pool workout and, of course, even a park eviction. We worked on a number of things to prevent overload to his elbows and shoulders and maintaining mobility and strength through his hips and spine. But the constant through it all was the hard work and determination that propelled Tom personally. Guerrero also said that Brady's become more flexible with his diet and found more balance with his food. He said we believe in variety. If he wants pizza, he'll eat it. He just wants it to be a really good slice, and he doesn't do that often. We talk about Tom Brady's TB12 method and everything that he puts to his body, and similar to LeBron, spending a lot of money investing in his body in the offseason and having a trainer and traveling with his trainer and the nutrition. And we kind of gloss over that. But when you really listen to what he's saying and think about how much extra work that is, there's a reason why LeBron and Tom Brady have the bodies they do. Now, obviously, some of it is tough, but it's not all luck. Like, it's hard for us as regular people who are like, I want to get in shape. Like, I'm going to eat healthy just during the week. And then, you walk past the cupboard and there's some chips in there and you just maybe have a few. Like, it takes a lot of discipline to daily give up things that make you happy in order to achieve an ultimate goal. Like, it's a lot of extra work.
Yeah, I think I'm reasonably disciplined, but if you give me chicken nachos at any point in the day, I'm going to worry about the repercussions later. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't care about the repercussions.
Right. And Tom Brady doesn't do that. It's really,
we
don't give him enough credit. Ron, too, and Russell, obviously, just how much effort they put into the nutrition training. The Bucs dropped their 4th game in a row last week. 24-113 loss to the Packers. Giannis had 10 rebounds and 8 assists, but his last week came with 6 minutes left in the game. However, he doesn't think it's time to worry about the team just yet. He said, I kind of have a feeling everybody's in panic mode, which should not be the case. You've got to look at the bright side of it. You still have another opportunity on Thursday, so getting better, watch the film, improve, keep everybody in good place. It's not the end of the world right now. This is kind of my issue with the Bucs last season. Not that Giannis didn't have MVP season, but it just Bucs are kind of getting into the basically where, like, I've heard enough about how great you guys are, the MVP, and have all these exciting pieces. I need to see some results. They're 0-9 and trailing after 3 the worst record in the NBA this season, trailing after 3 quarters. They were outscored 12-4 in the final 5 minutes of the Raptors. And if you just look at the last 3 seasons, the way that the Bucs have finished it, 2018 lost the first round to the Celtics in 7. 2019 lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Raptors in 6. And last year they lost in 5 to the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. Where are the results?
Yeah, it's a fair question. I'm going to ask Antoine Walker that in 10 minutes. Totally fair question.
So Draymond Green spoke about this week about the double standard he sees between how players are treated when they ask for a trade and how teams treat them while they're looking for a trade. And LeBron joined the conversation last night, and he fully agrees with what Draymond said.
It's the narrative of what the league has always been. And, from a team's perspective, they've controlled the narrative. They've controlled the narrative of how players should be, how they should act, how they should, treat their organizations. We just want people to understand that it's 2 sides of the coin. It's not just one-sided.
I totally understand where Draymond and LeBron are coming from. I'm obviously a very pro-player person. I've seen how these trades work and people getting cut and contracts, and that's why I don't believe in loyalty to organizations. But there's a structure to the sport. There's a structure to the business, and it's agreed upon between players and organizations. It's called the CBA. If you don't want trades anymore, which, let's be honest, don't just benefit organizations. James Harden wanted out to leave the Rockets, so he got a trade to the Nets. We've seen this happen many times where it benefits the players. I don't actually think that fans and media are very lenient with organizations if they do a bad job. Deshaun Watson is in a terrible situation. Nobody's saying Deshaun Watson needs to be rebuilt in Houston. No one's mad at Deshaun Watson. There's plenty of organizations like the Detroit Lions, the way that they treated some of this. Fans are actually pretty fair. I think that what Draymond is trying to explain, that there's a real personal side to this. Like Blake Griffin sitting, Andre Jordan sitting, it affects you personally to not be able to go out there and play. How can a organization just do trade these players and keep them healthy, not for trade value? There is a personal side of it. You have kids, you have a family, that's very stressful, and fans sometimes get it that way.
Yeah. Good stuff, Joy Taylor with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line News.
Yeah, by the way, Giannis, I remember watching a 60 Minutes piece about 3 years ago on how great Giannis was. He was the next LeBron, and I just rolled my eyes. He can't shoot. He can handle the ball okay, but he doesn't control the tempo of a game. And I've always said this, most bigs, I don't want touching the ball with 4 minutes left because they can't shoot free throws. Giannis is decent at that. But the idea that Giannis is going to take over this league is laughable. He doesn't sell shoes. He's not as marketable. He doesn't control games. You don't want him. If he's behind late, he's useless. Antoine Walker, who played 12 years in this league and was also a champion and also a 3-time All-Star, his thoughts on Giannis. It's not that I don't like him. I just think we elevated him to a space he wasn't close to being ready for. That's next. You know, it's time to kick off a new year with a fresh pair of boots from our friends in Austin, Texas, called Tecovas, TEC.